Hello, you bread machine lovers, bakers of bread, makers of the home. Welcome to Butterfly Meadows Homestead, where hearts are warmed and bodies are nourished. So the other day, I got a great deal on carrots, and I just made apple butter today, and I decided it would be a good day to go ahead and can these carrots because I have a little bit of time. And I am going to do what they call raw pack. I'm going to cold pack them into the jars, and I thought I would bring you along and show you how I do this. So if you're using whole carrots, you'll want to wash them and scrape them if you want to scrape them and cut them up, slice them up in slices or cut them up. But I just went ahead and bought these baby carrots, and that's what I'm going to be using. And they are small enough where I don't have to do anything to them except put them in the jar. We're going to pack them in the jar. Shake it so that the carrots will go down in there. I can get as many as I can in a jar. We want to leave 1 inch head space. I love having canned carrots on hand when I'm making soups, or sometimes I just want to make a side of carrots, and so I love to have canned carrots on hand. I'm not sure how many jars I'll have. I bought 5 bags, but we've been eating them, so I think I have three bags and a few out of another bag. Several jars here. I have canned carrots before and put them with an orange juice brown sugar glaze, but it's a really good idea to have some plain because you never know what you're going to do with them, and you may not want that sweetness on them if you're going to put them in a soup or a stew. So, I think I might have enough for one more jar. I'm going to see if I have a jar. And I did find another jar. And since we're going to be pressure canning these, the jar does not have to be sterilized. It just needs to be clean. Next step after you get your carrots in your jars is to cover them in a liquid. And I'm going to be using plain water. This is filtered water. It is cold. I'm pouring it from a teapot, but it's cold. And I'm going to leave 1 inch of head space. I also want to make sure I don't have any air bubbles in here. They're packed pretty tight, but I'm just going to use this little plastic fork and make sure I don't have any air bubbles. I'm pretty sure there's not, but just move them around a little bit to make sure there's not any air bubbles. And some of these I want to stick up above the liquid. So since I'm not dealing with any kind of sugar or oil or anything, I just have a dry paper towel here, and I'm going to wipe the top of all my jars to make sure there's no debris or particles on the jars. Then we're going to put our lids on. And our rings, we want to put them on finger tight. Now it is optional that you can put salt. You could put a half a teaspoon of salt in each jar if you wanted to. I don't normally put salt in my vegetables when I'm canning them because I just feel like they keep better longer, and I can when I take them out of the jar, I can season them how I want. So I'm not going to put anything in them. I am going to be using my Carry electric canner today because it is so easy. I don't have to watch it super close. You need to read the directions for your canner and follow those. My canner calls for 2 quarts of water, and that's what I have here is 2 quarts of water in the bottom. And I should mention that I also have my rack is in the bottom of my pot. And I'm just going to set my jars down in the canner. I'm pretty sure it'll hold 6. I think it'll hold 7. It may only hold 5. No, it does hold it holds 6. So I thought it did, but sometimes depending on how the jar is shaped, it may not hold as many. So I have my jars in here. I have my water in there. I'm going to close the canner. I'm going to make sure my exhaust is set to open. So I want the exhaust to be open. And so what we want to do is we want to put it on high because we are pressure canning, and carrots, pints of carrots, pressure can for 25 minutes. So I got the 25 minutes and I'm going to hit start. Now what this will do is it will first come up to pressure and steam will begin to come out the little vent here. And it'll do that for 10 minutes. And after that, it'll beep and let me know it's time to close the vent. And then it'll come up to pressure and it will count down the 25 minutes. And when it's finished, it will shut off and cool down and my carrots will be done. So the canner has cooled down completely, and I know this because when I turn my vent, no steam comes out. So it is safe to remove the carrots from the canner. It's very hot, so always open it away from you so that hot steam doesn't come up in your face. And now we have these beautiful carrots that are shelf stable and we can put in our pantry and have carrots whenever we need them. And we know they are good because we canned them ourselves. So I will let these sit on the counter until tomorrow when they are completely cool. I will label them with what they are and the date so that when I put them on my shelf, I'll know how old they are in case I can more carrots, and then you can use the oldest first. I hope you enjoyed this video. Canning carrots is so easy, and if you have an electric canner, that makes it even more simple. Of course, you can do it on a stovetop canner. Just remember that pints of carrots go for 25 minutes and quarts for 30 minutes at the proper pressure for wherever your elevation is, and you can safely can your own carrots at home. God bless. Bye-bye.